Alright, this is John Colo with DiscountJuicers.com. Today we have another exciting episode for you. In this episode, we're going to feature the TriBest Backspin Blender. If you guys have seen my other videos on the TriBest Backspin Blender, including the ones where I unbox it originally and set it up and make actually a nut butter and a frozen fruit sorbet without any scraping the sides, link down below to that. I also have other videos where I share how to make juice in the backspin under vacuum. Also, I have videos on how to make the thickest smoothies ever that you won't be able to make in a traditional blender. For those of you guys that aren't aware of the backspin, it's a lot different than normal blenders out there. It basically has a blade that spins one way and an outer chamber that spins the other. And right now, only until September 28th, it is on sale for 20% off, which gives you like $100 off or $99.99 off the Backspin Blender. So if you've been waiting to buy it, this is the lowest price it has ever been. And you can buy it at tribest.com. And you can use the coupon code DJ to save $99.99 or $100 off the Backspin Blender, only until September 28th. I don't want you guys to miss this amazing discount if you guys have been waiting for the best vacuum blender to blend up thick mixtures when you don't have enough liquid. Next up, let's go ahead and dive into how the Backspin is different than any other blender out there. We're simply going to go ahead and lift the top up. We're going to go ahead and take off the carafe. The carafe has an outer lid and then it has an inner lid. It also has an outer chamber here, and then the inner chamber here. And then it has the removable blade right here that makes cleaning easy. This is what makes the Backspin Blender different than any other blender out there. When you assemble and you put in the inner chamber inside the outer chamber, you put the blade in there, what happens is as the blender is running, right, the blade will spin one way and the outer chamber basically spins the other way. So I'll have to do this with two hands here. We're spinning the outer chamber this way. You guys see that? And now I'm spinning the blade the opposite direction. What happens then is that the food that's in there is not just, hitting the blade. The outer chamber is basically forcing a collision, like driving your car down the wrong way on the freeway. There will be a head-on collision. Somebody will probably lose their lives, so don't do it. But in the Backspin Blender, this causes head-on collisions with your food, so this blender will grind up things, especially without the water, better than any other machine, because this will literally fold in without you having to do anything, to achieve the thickest mixtures, whether you're making a smoothie, whether you're making a hummus, which I also have a video on down below, or, even just plain celery without adding any water to grind it up so that you can extract the juice out. This is the only blender I recommend for blending up dry ingredients. This kind of works similar to a S-Blade on the food processor, so it's kind of like a hybrid food processor / blender, but there's really never been anything else like it before. So in any case, what we're going to do today is make the world's healthiest nut butter. So in my previous episode, I did make nut butter out of cashews and macadamia nuts, which worked amazing. But I know a lot of you guys out there are used to your peanut butter. You guys love your peanut butter, and surely we could put roasted peanuts in here and it'd turn it into nut butter simply and easily without you having to lift a finger. But I thought I'd raise it up a notch. Of course, roasted peanuts can create carcinogens in the roasting process and have added oil. Raw peanuts may not be so good to eat because of the aflatoxin, depending on where the peanuts were grown. So that's why I like these peanuts as the healthiest peanuts you guys should be eating. If you guys want to eat peanuts, this is the gut nuts. These are fermented peanuts that basically get soaked and then fermented, and then actually have like a nice taste to them. Kind of tastes like it's like a taste of like between peanuts and like sauerkraut. It's a trip. If you guys want to learn more about these gut nuts that actually have vitamin D, link down below to my other YouTube channel, OK Raw, where I did a whole in-depth video about the gut nuts. In any case, today we're going to turn 1 pound or 454 grams of the soaked and fermented peanuts into a nut butter. So this is like the best raw peanut butter you can get. Number one, because the nuts are not roasted. Number two, because we're using the backspin. And when you use the backspin, you can select the vacuum function, which then removes the excess oxygen out of the chamber before you do your blending or grinding in this case. This prevents the oxidation happening to the oxygen-sensitive nutrients. This also significantly inhibits the rancidity of the fats. And the peanuts have some fats in there that can go rancid quite easily. So that's why it's very important to remove the oxygen during the grinding process like we're doing today, and then also, more importantly, during the storage process that I'll show you in a minute. So anyways, without further ado, let's go ahead and get this peanut butter made. So we're just dumping in all the peanuts into the inner chamber. The next thing, we're just gonna drop in the inner chamber lid. Next up, we're gonna drop on the outer chamber lid. Next up, we're just gonna lock this into place. It'll beep at you. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and hit the vacuum button. This at the top is going to flash, letting you know you're on the vacuum function mode. And now all we need to do is press one button. We're going to press the auto high button. That'll run this unit for 4 minutes straight, right? It's going to be spinning the inner blade while it's turning the outer chamber the other direction to literally fold in the nuts. So we're going to go ahead and give you guys a close-up on the grinding process, blending process as it's running, so you can see how amazing it works. All right, let's just go for it. Hit the auto high once, and you guys could hear the powerful vacuum pump coming on, sucking out the excess oxygen out of the chamber. As the oxygen is sucked out, there's like a little dial on the top, and the little lights light up going around the circle, letting you know how much vacuum has been excluded. So far, we're about halfway. And I want to go ahead and get the camera on here so you guys can get a close-up of the grinding process. So as you guys saw, the backspin just ground up the nuts in 4 minutes, turned it into a butter, then released the vacuum, so now you can take the cover off very easily. So let's go ahead and lift that up. We're going to go ahead and take off the outer lid, which is totally clean. We're going to go ahead and then take off the inner lid. Look at that, guys. This is just nut butter. We're just going to get look at that. That's so runny, guys. It's dripping off my finger. This is insanity. Oh my gosh, this is insane. I wish you were here to taste this. This is fermented nut butter. Just chewing the nuts up, you get a fermented flavor, but now just tasting that because there's a lot more surface area, it's like a really fermented flavor. This is like insanity, guys. Non-roasted nuts, they tested for 0 aflatoxin, plus a fermentation process also can remove the aflatoxins. And oh my gosh, guys, this is insane. Let me show you guys how liquid this nut butter is. I don't want to go too much because this is going to just spill everywhere, because we literally just turned the peanuts into a liquid. Look at that. There's no chunks, no nothing in there. This is absolutely insanity. This is the creamiest peanut butter, like literally money can buy, made out of raw fermented peanuts. So now we're going to show you guys how to best store the peanut butter you make for the longest time, once again, to resist the rancidity, so you could store it and have the freshest peanut butter the longest. So I'm simply using a 16-ounce wide mouth mason jar. All right, the next step, you guys can see we have this nut butter, just totally, it's like a liquid. Next up, we're gonna need this. This is the PureMVP vacuum lids. These are stainless steel lids, 4 times thicker than normal mason jar lids. You can't really bend them unless you really tried. Also has a forever silicone gasket and silicone valve. The next thing you do, you put this lid on the mason jar. Then you take the PureMVP vacuum pump. This is the most powerful vacuum pump for food I have ever tested. This removes up to 80 to 85% of the oxygen out of the jar. If you don't believe me, check the link down below where I compare and bought like 10 different sealers, jar sealers off Amazon. They only remove between 50 to 60% of the oxygen. Maybe I think one hit 62, but this could hit up to 80 to 85%. So let's go ahead and start pumping. 1, 2. And if you guys are noticing, what's happening right now is that our nut butter actually started to rise. And if you could see in there like I can, I see bubbles literally coming out of the nut butter. This is literally pulling out the dissolved oxygen that is in the nut butter. It kind of, when the bubbles pop on the top, it looks like, if you ever played like Dragon's Lair and the swamp, the lava monster comes out and it's like bubbling. I mean, that's what it seriously looks like. So once that happens, we're just gonna tap this gently to try to get the bubbles out, and then we're gonna go ahead and continue to pump some more. Whoa, and you guys can see I really got that to rise up a lot, and there are more bubbles coming out. So we're just gonna gently tap this to get the bubbles to kind of come up out of the bottom, and then we're gonna pump some more. So, in this way, we're literally removing the dissolved oxygen out of the nut butter, which can and will cause rancidity over time. And also, of course, we're moving the oxygen out of the headspace. The problem with those cheap Amazon pumps, if you guys want to buy one, that's up to you, right? You're only going to pretty much remove the oxygen out of the headspace. You're not going to remove the dissolved oxygen out of the nut butter, or, I like to store normally juices and smoothies, which this pump will also store your juices and smoothies for up to a week, all right? So we're just going to go ahead and pump this a bunch more. All right, I think I've achieved the MVP, or maximum vacuum pressure. The next step is to keep this cold in the fridge, and you could easily store it sealed for several months. As you open it, you're going to want to also just take out your peanut butter, reseal it. You will have the freshest peanut butter without the rancidity. You're not going to have that off flavor. You're not eating roasted peanuts. You're eating fermented peanuts that taste amazing, I think. So if you guys want to get the PureMVP vacuum lids and the MVP vacuum pump, make sure you click the link down below, bit.ly/PureMVP. Use the coupon code DJ5. That'll save you guys $5 off the starter kit I recommend. That includes your pump and 12 vacuum lids, which is enough to get you started vacuum sealing your food to store your food significantly longer over non-vacuum and even longer over other vacuum systems out there, because you're removing more oxygen, which prevents the oxidation and rancidity from occurring. I think the last thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and taste test more of this nut butter on some of my favorite apples. Alright guys, so now I'm going to show you guys my favorite way to eat nut butter. I know a lot of you guys use nut butter in your salads. You could actually use it to make dressings. You could use it as a dressing on your salads and other things. I like to just spread it on my apples. So today, with a special pink pearl apple. These apples are really cool. Let's go ahead and cut this so you guys can see. Check it out, guys. It's like pink or red on the inside. These are absolutely beautiful. Super high in anthocyanins. I always encourage you guys to, eat the most nutritious food possible. That's why I'm using some pink pearl apples today. And of course, the fermented gut nuts that we turned into the nut butter. We're going to go ahead and take a spatula here, and we're just going to go ahead and scoop off some of this nut butter. And look at that, we could just dribble it on, literally dribbles on to our apple. I mean, this stuff is like a liquid, guys. It's not even a paste. This is creamier than creamy because it's like a liquid. It's not even like, there's no additives, no nothing added in this nut butter, guys. This is absolutely insane. Do that again for you guys. A little bit more nut butter coming off the spatula right on to our apple. All right, guys, healthiest nut butter and apples ever. Wow. That's a good combo. That's a really good combo, guys. So for those of you guys that don't know, the pink pearl apples are more of a tart style apple. They're not super sweet. And then we couple that with the nut butter that, definitely has some fat. Also, of course, peanuts are technically not a tree nut. They are a legume rich in protein. Of course, they're also fermented. So literally when I taste this, I'm getting like the soft texture of the apples, which is nice and like moist, not crisp, you know, soft. A little bit of flavor from the apple, but then I really get hit by the fermented taste of the nut butter. This is so delicious. I wish you were here to try it. Next level nut butter, guys. You saw it here first. Thanks to two things. Number one, the gut nuts, right? Fermented peanuts that will give you probiotics and additional nutrients over just eating peanuts, and especially less toxins over eating them roasted like most Americans do. And you guys saw me use the best equipment to make your peanut butter or other nut butters that does it fully automatically in 4 minutes without you having to scrape down the sides, without you having to shake the container, without you having to do anything, and removing the oxygen so you don't create the rancidity with the TriBest Backspin Vacuum Blender. If you guys want to learn more about this, link down below, of course, to my original unboxing video, as well as my other videos on the Backspin. You also learn how to save your nut butter and other creations you make in the Backspin Vacuum Blender under vacuum in mason jars so that you can store them the longest. In this case, you know, I could probably, if I didn't open this up and kept it in my fridge, I'm good like for 6 months, guys. Keeping this sealed for 6 months, it'd still be good. When I open it 6 months later, tastes pretty much the same as it does today. This is the power of having the right ingredients and having the right equipment. I'm here to share with you guys always the best equipment so you guys could process your high-end fruits and vegetables like I personally buy in my life, so you guys could extract and get the most nutrition into you so you could have the greatest level of health. This is something I'm super passionate about. And if you guys have not yet gotten your TriBest Backspin Blender, make sure you guys use that coupon code DJ at tribest.com. It's only good until September 28th, guys. A few more days will save you guys literally $100 off the TriBest Backspin Blender. Of course, after September 28th, that coupon code DJ will save you guys $50 off. But I don't want you guys leaving money on the table. If you guys have been considering the Backspin, buy it now before the sale ends. So you too, can make amazing nut butters, hummus, you know, the thickest smoothies, and other creations that you would normally use your food processor for, that you always have to scrape down the sides, or you can't use your blender for. You know, recipes that would require you to have more liquid in a traditional blender because of that outer chamber spinning the opposite direction as the blades. This allows you to get a lot more creative in the kitchen. And of course, the possibilities that you come up with are endless. Final thing I'd like to say is that when you guys use one of the coupon codes that I mentioned in this episode, not only will you guys get the lowest price, but also the companies will share me a small commission so I can continue to make these educational videos for you guys and take my time out of my day to share with you guys what I'm doing, what I'm creating in the kitchen, and also my knowledge, share with you guys so you guys could live a healthier lifestyle. So I want to thank you guys who will use my coupon codes instead of other coupon codes so that the companies will give me some credit and allow me to continue my work, and especially pay my amazing video editor, pay my light bill, buy my pink apples and all these things. So that is much appreciated so much. If you guys enjoyed this episode today, please be sure to give this a big thumbs up. More importantly, share this with other people that are looking for the machine to make the best nut butter out there. I've used all kinds of machines to make nut butters, and surely the Backspin is the best one out there at this time because, number one, the oxidation factor. Number two, it's hands off. You put everything in there, turn it on, it turns it into butter, and you're done. So simple and easy. Also, be sure to click that subscribe button right down below. You never know what new appliances I'll be unboxing, testing, comparing against each other so that you guys could process your fruits and vegetables and other plant foods in the best ways possible to preserve the most nutrition and gain the best health benefit. Make sure you click the little bell so you get notified as my new videos come out. And finally, be sure to check our past episodes. Past episodes are wealth of knowledge. I have over 900 episodes at this time on this channel dedicated to you guys all about the different equipment to process your fruits and vegetables and other plant foods in the best ways possible. And I'll put links down below so some of the videos I made in the past about the Backspin if you guys want to learn more about what it can do and how amazing it is. So with that, my name is John Kohler with DiscountJuicers.com. Be sure to visit DiscountJuicers.com/YouTube for special promotional offers for YouTube visitors.